What's up, folks? Welcome to the first episode of a brand new show I'm going to call ATCW Recap. Yeah, I know. Pretty creative, right?
Works for me.
I am your host, the golden tongue of ATCW, Evan Wade, and here to my right, the Swiss Army knife, Dennis Williams. Dennis, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, F. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you for
see
asking.
Good to have you back.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise. Good to be back, man. Back in the arena on July 15th for ATCW Locked and Loaded, which is what we are going to talk to you about today, as a matter of fact. Dennis, how was your experience with Locked and Loaded?
I had an absolutely just awesome night at Locked and Loaded. I went into it thinking I was going to have a very good night. Ended up being a very awesome night. If you guys missed it, you're going to get a chance to see it, though, because the footage is almost edited together. Of course, Evan and I providing commentary over it. It's going to be slingshotted to YouTube here sometime over the next couple days, just like that. And you guys are going to be able to check it out. I know some of you have watched the previous stuff we've done, and I've got some very good feedback from you fans. Thank you guys for that. And I hope that we continue to move forward in a good way with that. So be sure to check it out. Enough talking about that, though, Evan. I want to talk about the actual show. So kick us off here.
Let's do it, man. To open up the show, the ATCW heavyweight champion, El Oso Mafioso Grizzlyo. It's just so crisp, isn't it?
It just works. It just works.
He opens up the show and issues an open challenge to the entire locker room looking for some competition. And you know what? Why don't we save that for the end of it here?
Yeah, let's hold off on that. Let's talk about the other stuff first.
Absolutely. So our first match then we're going to talk about the Hero Kid, Jimmy Alpha, one-on-one with Ethan Cross with Izzy Stone at ringside. And man, what a showing from Jimmy Alpha, man. I was so impressed with the way he just controlled the pace, the match, the entire night almost for that entire matchup. Dennis, what are your thoughts?
What they did was they put on an old school wrestling match. This wasn't a bunch of top rope maneuvers. They did try a few, but it wasn't a bunch of that. This was mat wrestling, and this was really what wrestling is all about. And the interesting thing that happened here was the Hero Kid. He came in and out wrestled the veteran. That's what happened. He really threw Ethan Cross off, and it was evident of that throughout the entire match. And I thought that there was a good shot there for Jimmy to end his undefeated, or excuse me, not his undefeated streak, his losing streak. I thought it was time for him to put that to bed, but unfortunately, shenanigans from the House of Cross. But Corey Bush's music hits, and no Corey Bush. However, that distracts Jimmy long enough for Ethan Cross to be able to pick up a win to not be so proud of, so to speak.
Amen. House of Cross getting a big win over Jimmy Alpha there. The next I think we should talk about is the opener for the night. It was Tomahawk taking on Tremor in what was a hellacious match. A lot of explosive maneuvers, some intensity coming out of Tomahawk that I haven't seen in a while. And you know, you got to think these two have been going through so much stuff outside of the ring. It was incredible to me how they were able to put all of that aside and just focus on tearing each other apart.
Absolutely. These guys came to Carneysville to fight. And Tremor didn't know that Ishman was in the building. And I didn't either. I hadn't seen him all day long. So
Same.
Tremor thought at least that he was able to focus on this. Tomahawk, one problem he's never had is focusing. And he was focused on this too. And these guys were bringing it, man. I mean, they were hitting hard, hitting big moves, and really destroying each other. However, once again, shenanigans in ATCW. Tell them about it.
Well, AK comes out to the ring, and we were actually not aware that he was there either. And kind of...
He had the night off, so yeah.
So I would say he provided the distraction, but then there was no finish to the match either. He kind of jumped in there and started putting the beat down on Tomahawk, and then Tremor ended up joining in. Looked like fun, so I guess the hardest hitter wanted to get in there and have some fun. But
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Ishman Martinez coming to the rescue out of the back and came. It was like a storm of scream and hair, and it was wild, man. Saved the day for Tremor, and then Chucky Manson, our hero, made the match of AK versus Ishman Martinez later on in the night, which actually, wouldn't you know it, after about 10 minutes of back and forth of also intense contest, more shenanigans.
More shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you know, these guys put on a great match as well. And I was very impressed with what was going down. And then, of course, more shenanigans. which led to another walk for Chucky Manson. He did a lot of walking last month.
That he did.
He walked up and turned it into a tag team match. Tremor, AK, taking on Tomahawk and Ishman Martinez. And that's something definitely I never thought I would ever see.
Never.
I think maybe the only thing I could ever think of to put it into like an analogy is engraving the names on a set of dice and just tossing them up in the air. That's how they land. So that's a tag team match that I'm going to make. However, both of these teams rather, they acted like good tag teams. They fought well, and this was a good matchup. However, more shenanigans.
More shenanigans.
AK kind of ducking away and leaving Tremor there, and of course, you can't win 1-on-2. So Tomahawk and Ish were able to pick up a win, and they were impressive. I would like to see maybe a little bit more of that tag team going forward. I know that was a lot, ladies and gentlemen, but that was the entire picture of that story for the night.
Yeah, man. Quite the story, because it stretched across like 3 whole matches.
Yeah. However, riveting the whole way. I loved it.
100%. Next up, let's talk about the Radical Stars and King Otis, your boys, the Radical Stars. That's right. He's so excited. You can see it on his face. Versus the Nation of Violence, Josh Austin, Muddy Waters, Rex Savage, putting on a clinic in there and definitely proving that Rex Savage, like you said on ATCW Live the last time, is the powerhouse of that group, which is very surprising.
Yeah, a fantastic debut for him. And if I was Grizzly O, I'd be kind of starting to study some tape on this guy, because I think this guy is a potential heavyweight championship challenger down the line. Evan, this was a very, crazy matchup, I guess, because Radical Stars needed a partner. And they went out and found King Otis, and I got to give it to Otis, man. He stood up and tried to fight this time. He didn't just take one chop and run out of there. He tried to, but he pulled it back together and got in there. However, he was also kind of the linchpin in the fall of the match for the Radical Stars.
Yeah, a little bit there toward the end. Looks like the Radical Stars had the match won, and Otis tagged himself in on the back of LA to LA Surprise.
Yeah.
Jumped in there, and then, let's just say he did not get that 1-2-3 that he was looking for. The Nation of Violence picking up the win over the tag team champs and King Otis.
Yeah, and that war's not over either, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be plenty more to come there, believe me.
Oh, absolutely. The ATCW Tag Team Champions are proud and ready to defend whenever. And speaking of champions ready to defend, finally we're going to get to the open challenge that was issued by the ATCW Heavyweight Champion, Grizzly O, El Oso Mafioso. Grizzly O. Crisp, that's right. Well, so it turns out that the first person to step up, the music hit to the crowd's surprise, came through the curtain. Izzy Stone coming down to the bottom of the ramp there.
The undefeated Izzy Stone.
That's right. Stepped up to the challenge, but unfortunately was not able to cash in on that because
Jesse Daniels wanted to step up, and I think he wanted a little bit more. He kind of come charging down the ringside, blasted Izzy in the back of the head. And we didn't see this from our angle, but man, Izzy just face planted right into the side of the ring, and he's okay, thankfully, but I didn't see that when that happened, but that was crazy. And I tell you, Evan, Jesse put up a good fight, but the champion was on top form and was fairly easily able to pick up the victory overall.
100%. It was kind of scary, actually. Earlier in the night when the open challenge was announced, fans were kind of chanting a little bit for me to take that, and
Yeah,
thank the Lord I did not, because that dominating performance from Grizzly O and retaining his championship was just breathtaking.
I still would have paid to see that, though.
I'm sure you would, and man, I'm going to keep running from that challenge as much as I can. Trust me, I'm not in the mood or in the shape to get mauled by the Grizzly. And speaking of Grizzly, I hear he's going to be defending his championship coming up here on August 19th at ATCW Anarchy.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Grizzly O will be in the house. He will be defending that championship again as he marches towards being the greatest champion in ATCW history. So coming up, what was it again?
August 19th, ATCW Anarchy.
Grizzly O will be in action, defending his championship. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here in a couple weeks.
That's right. Here in
fill
a couple
you in on
weeks.
some more information on that.
Amen. Just like he said, ATCW Live will be coming to you here shortly. We're going to fill you in on what's going on with Anarchy on August 19th. I'm so sorry. I'm stumbling. I'm so excited for this, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. We hope to see you there. Bell time is going to be at 7. Doors at 6:30 in the Leetown Community Center in Carneysville, West Virginia. August 19th, ATCW Anarchy. Coming to you soon.